Hi there, Pisces. Hello, everyone. This is Aries Moon Girl, which is actually a Pisces Sun Girl. Welcome to my channel. This is the prediction of 2025 for Pisces. And if you haven't seen the main video with overall predictions, I'll link it down below. But as I mentioned, I'm gonna go through each individual sign. And I'm starting with Pisces because the year starts off with them, and this is where the energy is focused at the moment in the beginning of the year. This is where we will see the first half of the year unfolding in the sign of Pisces. So as I was saying, I'm not hiding the fact that I'm a Pisces sun, Pisces rising myself. So I kind of know that Pisces have been going through a lot over this past 1.5 years, almost 2 years now, since Saturn has entered their sign. And if you're a Pisces from the beginning of the sign, you have felt this a lot more than a Pisces from the end of the sign. Saturn has just now reached the middle point, 15 degrees, and from now on it's just going forward. Me as a beginning Pisces with Sun at 4 degrees and 14 degrees rising, I've been feeling it really, really intense. But if you're a Pisces from the second half, you will have Saturn in your degrees for the first half of this year. And also, if you're really born at the end of the zodiac, like let's say between the 12th and the 17th, you'll have Saturn coming back at the end of this year. It will go out for the period of the summer, so you can enjoy the summer, and then come back for one last time, and then we're done. We're done with Saturn. What Saturn has been doing there is a lesson. It's a lesson of learning how to put your life in order. If you're a Pisces, that's not necessarily the area that you're mostly focused on. Mostly you're focused on dreaming or focused on, sky's the limit. Life is beautiful, dream it and it will come. While Saturn is putting you to work, Saturn is putting your affairs in order, Saturn is realism, while Pisces is many times just imagination. It's a battle between the real and unreal. The good part is that you still have Neptune in your sign. So for the Pisces that are now in the second half of the zodiac and will experience Saturn, they will experience Saturn mostly under the influence of Neptune as well, because Neptune is also at the last degrees of Pisces. Neptune has been there for a long time, so I think Neptune has been there now for, if I'm not mistaken, 20 years or something like that. It entered Pisces in 2011. So Neptune has been there for 14 years now. It will be 15 when it goes out. It entered Pisces in 2011, and while it was there, probably a lot of Pisces have transformed their life in a very Neptunian way. You might have really fulfilled your whole potential, or you might have gotten lost in Neptune. Neptune has positives and negatives. So when Saturn came in now, he came in to clean house, to put things in order. He's like, okay, you've been having a party here for the last 14 years. Here's how we need to restructure. Here's how we need to arrange. Here's your punishment for what you have not done yet. And here's your lesson and what you should be doing going forward. When Saturn passes a sign, it creates subtle pain in a way in someone's life, because it brings very concrete problems. It might bring physical problems, it might bring family problems. It's especially when it's going over your sun or your rising, it's really tied to your identity, and you find yourself in tough times without knowing why you're in these tough times. So Saturn wants you to realize why the tough times are there, and Saturn wants you to realize what you need to change. And with you having Neptune, this might have been a bit fuzzy for you. You might have felt like, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? I never understand. But the lesson here is tap into both. Tap into Neptune to support you and to take your energy higher. Even it's like a, you know, like a morphine type of injection to go through things. And tap into Saturn to really clean house and put your affairs in order and do things right. It is kind of the natural progression for Pisces to conclude this Neptune cycle with things really set in stone. So you dreamt big, now it's time to arrange it and set it in stone with Saturn. And even if it seems hard, and even if it seems unfair, it is based on something that you have done in the past. Saturn is always coming with a lesson. Saturn is always coming with some hardship that actually will take you to accomplish way more than you would have accomplished otherwise. So tap into it, work with it, work with Neptune. Also, don't give up on your dreams, but make them practical. Make them something that you can really achieve. So that's for the first half of the year when Saturn will be there. But besides Saturn and besides Neptune, the good part is we're gonna have a lot more support. So you are gonna have Venus. Venus has entered Pisces already on the 2nd of January. So we're kickstarting with Venus in our sign. You might feel a bit more attractive, a bit more predisposed towards fun, and you might start feeling nice and fuzzy and like, you know, good things are coming. Venus is a benefic there. And it's going to stay there for a while because it's going to go back into Aries throughout February and coming back in then March, April, back into Pisces. And it's coming back to kind of give you like the same reminder of things are going to be all right. All is beautiful. It's coming back to give the collective also a bit more of a taste of the Pisces dreamy compassion, beauty. Things are beautiful. Try to live through that. Try to live through the beauty of life at the beginning of the year. Try to take advantage of it, and know that when it's going retrograde and coming back, it might again come also not to clean house, but to kind of restructure some things also in your relationships, in your physical body, in your the things that you like, the things that you enjoy. But anyways, it's gonna be a positive influence for you. And the biggest news is we're gonna kickstart the year also on the 11th of January. North Node is moving into Pisces. This is the biggest event of the year for you, for other signs as well, because with North Node in Pisces, you're gonna come into your own. So I said it was hard with Saturn. Saturn has cleaned house. Neptune made you dream. Pisces came, Venus came in there to give you an extra boost of things are gonna be okay. But North Node tells you you're on the right path, and it's all about you going forward. You're the star of the show. You're the star of your own show. You're coming into your power. If you've been suffering until now, if you had hardship, you will be a lot more empowered to deal with your own life. And all these planets kind of in your sign are telling you two stories. One is that you can achieve a lot if you focus your energy on achieving what you want to. And the second one is like the outer forces are on you, but this means mostly that they are there also to support you. So then don't let yourself be dragged anymore by the outer influences. With this North Node, you're taking control. You're taking control of what that Saturn energy, what that Neptune energy is gonna do for you. You're taking control of your life and you're stepping into it. You're giving the direction. With South Node in the 7th house in Virgo, and we're gonna have some eclipses in mostly in Virgo this year, so in your 7th house, but one again in Pisces in September. This kind of tells a story of whatever was bothering you and wasn't serving you until now is under threat now, because the power has gone to you. You have endured a lot. Again, I'm mentioning Saturn. And if someone from your outer, that you're in a partnership with, maybe in a relationship, maybe at work, if someone has crossed you, stepped on your boundaries, and you were just down and taking it all, now it's time for them to easily, even you don't even need to put too much effort, they will easily disappear from your life, or they will easily be defeated in that intention of attacking you, because all the energy is on you. All the energy, you're the star of the show. You're embodying the energy of the beginning of this year. And Virgo, your counterpart, is embodying someone that needs to look at their partner more. So in this side, I've seen a meme about New Year's, and it was like, okay, this year I'm not gonna change anything. I'm letting you guys to catch up with me. It's time for you to change everything. That's the Pisces energy this year. This year you're good. You've done your part. You're doing your part. It's time for the other guys to catch up and to get on your level, to get on your energy. At least that's the vibe for the first half of the year. Also in the first half of the year, you have Mars going back in Cancer, which is not necessarily bad, but it's going there to kind of restart something, to kind of redo something, to kind of, like something didn't go well. And this can be tied to kids, this can be tied to your joy of life, this can be tied to some investments, this can be tied to any creative project. It's time to kind of immerse yourself in there and redo it, or kind of get it to work better. How do I improve this? How? And then when it's out, at the mid of the year, when Jupiter comes into Cancer there, we're ready to be happy. The 5th house is the house of inner joy, of happiness. House of kids as well. So if you want kids, this is a good year. House of falling in love, of romance, house of gambling, also house of just living your life to the fullest. It's the house of Leo, like open heart. And when Jupiter is there and Saturn leaves your sign over the summer, you can open your heart. You can open your heart. It's safe now. And you can be happy. You can rejoice that the worst is yet behind you. And you can live with an open heart and regain your joy. Regain your claim to joy. Regain your claim to creativity. Also, as I mentioned, if you're born at the very last degrees, end of March, mid of March till 17th, 18th of March, 19th, you will experience Saturn going back for one last time and Neptune going back at the end of the year. That's not a bad thing. It just means that there's a lot of focus at those last degrees of those last Pisces learnings before we go into Aries. Like, you guys play a central role for us to transition into the Aries area. And you guys are the wisest Pisces because you're later degrees Pisces. So you have gained all the wisdom, and it's your time to really tap into it towards the end of the year. One last aspect is Uranus. One last aspect is Uranus that's moving into your 4th house with Gemini towards the end of the year. You'll start feeling you start the year with Jupiter in your 4th house, so you might buy a house, for example, and in the second half you might start living abroad in that house and in your current location. Uranus in the 4th gives you wings in a way, gives you a bit of instability with your home, but not in a... Uranus is a positive planet. I don't know why people don't talk about this. Uranus actually brings positive things. It just reshuffles things just how you need them, but it doesn't keep you stuck. Just reshuffles them whenever you need them. So you might have multiple places where you live. You might change your relationship with your parents, with your place of origin. You might move. You might have long distance relationships because it's impacting the 7th house again. And remember, partners are taking a step back, you're taking a step forward. So maybe you move for work, and that means you're a bit further away from certain people. Overall, the next 7 years are going to prove, maybe you're buying multiple properties there, some expansion as well, but also a lot of changes. And this is not the time where you're completely settled in one place and you're not moving anywhere or going anywhere. This is a time where you'll be in multiple places, but that's not so unusual for the times that we're gonna live in, with loads of changes. Yeah, the last thing I mentioned also eclipses. There's gonna be a couple in your 7th house, and there's gonna be one similar to the one you had last year in the moon in Pisces. So we're not gonna have a sun eclipse yet. We're only gonna have a moon in Pisces eclipse. So again, it's more talking about your feelings until you come into your power and we have any eclipses there. We're more talking about your feelings that culminate, reach a point of maximum, heightened state where you need to change something. This is the year where you're the star because everything is happening in your proximity, either in Pisces or in Aries. But this is the year where you're helping conclude everything and you can achieve your dreams. To stay into your power. If there's one lesson that I need to teach you for this year is stay into your power. If you left outside energies until now, get to you now, just work with them. You own them, they don't own you. That's the North Node lesson here. You own them, they don't own you. Overall, I think it could be a good year. You just need to, especially for the Pisces in the first half, I think not so much is going to go on as for the Pisces in the second half of the zodiac. For those, a lot more will go on. So be careful how you deal with such strong energies there. And be careful, but also remember that you're the boss. So if you're a Pisces from the second house, use that. If you're a Pisces from the first half, you're gonna feel it, but it's gonna be more from the distance, so you can contemplate and look at it and understand it better. But if you're in the midst of it, just don't forget your inner power. Okay, this was my prediction for Pisces for 2025. If you want any special readings, write me a comment down below. Till next time, I'm Aries Moon Girl. I care about the stars, but most of all, I care about you, and this is why I do these videos. Thanks so much. Bye bye.